Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Beer Bros. Hi, Keith.
Howdy.
Happy July 4th week.
Sure.
Where's your patriotism? Okay, Keith, let's get into Monday's beer, which would be from Florida. For the first beer of this week, we have J.J. Gray's Nare Sugar Brown. So that it's like Nare, but you...
No.
And this is actually a bourbon barrel brown ale. So my wish came true. We're drinking a bourbon barrel beer. Thank you, Keith, for making my dreams come true. Not even you're welcome, nothing. It's cool. So, again, Rock Brothers Brewing and brewed and bottled by Cigar City Brewing. So I'm venturing to say, I think you mentioned this earlier, this might be a collaboration between the Rock Brothers, unless they're the same people. So we'll get into this one, and wow, it is a lot of head, very quickly. A lot of effervescence coming up on it from what I can tell.
Looks
Try to slow down a little bit so Keith can get a better pour than what I poured myself.
Nice brown ale, heady.
Yeah. So this is 6.3% alcohol by volume, and it doesn't seem to be too thick. It's got a light brown, it's got a brown and tan head on it. The brown color, not very clear, but it's not extremely dark like our beers we had last week. So it's seems to be working out pretty well. So let's give it a smell if we can get through the
head.
Copious amounts of head.
Get a little bit of spicy. I don't know how else to describe it right now.
Yeah, it's hard for me to kind of put a description on it. It's very thick as far as the head goes, so I'm hoping that constitutes and flows over into the flavor. It did say it's a brown sugar ale. It's a brown sugar bourbon ale. So I would assume that there would be some sweetness and some biting after effects in there, but I guess we won't know until we find out, until we try it, Keith.
So let's make it so.
Let's go. Drinky.
That's interesting. I don't know how to describe that.
I think maybe some oak is resonating in there. A little bit of oak from the barrels.
There's a sweetness and a spiciness, and
yeah, there's not really a definitive flavor, so to speak.
it's not hoppy per se.
Oh, I get a smoky flavor. So
okay.
Maybe the char in the barrel, they char bourbon barrels like they do whiskey barrels.
You say bourbon is whiskey?
That was last week.
Okay, so bourbon isn't whiskey.
Well, I don't want to offend anybody. Bourbon comes from Kentucky, and Kentucky is pretty hardcore. What do you think? I'm getting a lot of smoky flavor, and then
okay.
I'll get the malts to come through at the end. So initially, when you drink it, the smoky flavor comes in for me.
Yeah, and it's like there's a constellation of things happening, and I don't know how to even begin describing it.
I mean, it's a solid beer. It seems to have its own distinct flavor and taste. It's a good way to start out on Monday. So
maybe a metallic aftertaste.
Sometimes you have to try new things just to make sure that you're getting the entire spectrum. I just felt like I had to get through to the beer somehow, right?
And compared to what we had last week, it's very thin.
Yeah, it is actually very thin. It doesn't resonate. It doesn't stick on your palate too much. So I was hoping for a little bit more of the sugars. Seeing how it was a brown sugar was one of the main components in the title, but I wasn't quite getting that. It's not as strong and as sweet as you would imagine. So that about wraps it up for July 4th week here on Beer Bros.
For Monday,
Actually. So tune in to Welcome Back Wednesday. Tune in, Welcome Back Wednesdays, hashtag Welcome Back Wednesdays edition of Beer Bros, where we'll be reviewing some more beers from the great state of Florida. So, until then, like, comment, subscribe down below. Let us know what you think, and we will catch you on Wednesday. Thank you. Beer Bros out. I'll tell you what, let's do another drink. Let's do another clinky drinky and just give it a second thought. Maybe it'll come to us after that. Nope.
no.
Nope.